Afternoon, sir. Where'd you get the laptop?
From inside the store. I just bought it for my class.
I'm gonna need to see a receipt. We had a call about someone matching your description walking out without paying.
Sir, I've been in line for 20 minutes. You can ask the cashier. Why am I the one being stopped?
Just show me the receipt and we'll clear this up.
Here it is.
The body camera was already blinking red when the officer said it. Don't move. Set the box down. Now. A black man froze in the middle of a sun-baked parking lot in Phoenix, Arizona, holding a brand-new laptop meant for kids who could not afford one. He stood there quiet, shoulders low, eyes calm behind thin wireframe glasses, while a white police officer stared at him like a threat that needed to be handled. People were already filming. What the camera caught next would tear open a city, end a career, and expose a lie that too many people were still comfortable telling themselves. Because the man being stopped was not a thief. He was not a suspect. And he was not powerless. But the officer didn't know that yet. Before we go any further, take 1 second and subscribe to this channel because stories like this matter and they keep getting buried. And drop a comment telling us where you're watching from because this story reaches far beyond one parking lot in Arizona. Sir, I asked you a question, the officer snapped. Why are you walking away from the store with unpaid merchandise? The man blinked slowly. I didn't walk away, he said. His voice was soft, steady. I paid for it. The receipt is in the box. The officer stepped closer. Too close. I didn't ask where you think it is, he said. I asked you to show it to me. Right now. The box was large. Black. Clean. A brand new laptop sealed in plastic. The kind schools bought in bulk when teachers begged hard enough. The man shifted the box slightly so it wouldn't slip. Officer, he said carefully, may I ask why you stopped me? That was the wrong question. The officer's jaw tightened. His hand rested near his belt. Not on the gun. But close enough to make a point. You fit the description, he said. Of who? The man asked. Don't get smart, the officer replied. Just do what you're told. Around them, car doors closed slower. Footsteps paused. Phones rose. Someone whispered, Here we go again. The man's name was Marcus Elroy Reed. He was 32 years old. Tall but not imposing. Slim but not weak. He wore khaki pants that had been washed too many times and a faded maroon college hoodie with the letters peeling off the chest. On his feet were plain brown shoes with worn soles. He looked like someone you passed every day and forgot 5 seconds later. Marcus taught chemistry at a public high school 15 minutes south of downtown. He paid for lab supplies with his own money. He stayed late to tutor kids who pretended they didn't care but always showed up. He spoke softly because he learned early that loud black men were seen as dangerous, not passionate. What nobody in that parking lot knew was that Marcus Reed had spent 8 years in the United States Army. What nobody knew was that he had once cleared buildings overseas with a calm that saved lives. What nobody knew was that the laptop in his hands was not just school equipment. It was part of a federal pilot program Marcus helped design. And what nobody knew, yet, was that Marcus Reed had powerful friends who did not take disrespect lightly. The officer circled Marcus slowly, like a shark that had already decided. You nervous? He asked. You look nervous. I'm standing still, Marcus said. That's not what I asked. A woman across the lot whispered to her friend, Why him? The officer raised his voice just enough for everyone to hear. Sir, stores around here have had problems, he said. People like you stealing expensive items and walking out like nothing happened. Marcus felt it land. People like you. He inhaled through his nose. I am a teacher, Marcus said. I bought this for my classroom. The officer laughed. Not loud. Sure. A teacher? He said. Yeah, okay. He leaned in. You don't look like a teacher. Marcus didn't move. I can call the store, Marcus offered. They'll confirm. I decide how this goes, the officer replied. Set the box on the ground. Marcus slowly lowered the box. The officer nodded toward Marcus's pockets. Hands where I can see them. Marcus complied. The sun burned down. Sweat ran between his shoulder blades. Not from fear. From memory. A young man behind a parked car whispered, This is messed up. Nobody stepped in. The officer spoke louder now. Dispatch, I've got a male refusing to cooperate. Marcus's head lifted slightly. I am cooperating, he said. I've done everything you asked. The officer ignored him. What's your name? He asked. Marcus Reed. You got ID? Yes. Where? In my wallet. Where's your wallet? Back right pocket. Slow. Marcus reached back carefully. The officer's hand hovered near his weapon. Phones zoomed in. A woman's voice shook as she filmed. He's not doing anything. The officer shot her a look. Ma'am, step back. He turned to Marcus again. Ever been arrested, Marcus? No. You sure? Yes. The officer smirked. Because you're acting like someone with something to hide. Marcus swallowed. He thought of his students. He thought of the grant paperwork sitting unsigned in his bag. He thought of how tired he was of explaining his right to exist. Marcus stood very still. Then he said something small. Officer, he said, what is your name? The officer scoffed. You don't need my name. Yes, I do, Marcus replied. For my report. That made the officer pause. Your report? He asked. Yes. The officer straightened. Officer Daniel Whitmore, he said. Badge 4172. Marcus nodded. Thank you. That was when a second police cruiser rolled in quietly and parked nearby. The door opened. A woman stepped out. She looked at Marcus, then at the box, then at Officer Whitmore. Her face changed. Dan, she said carefully. What's going on? Whitmore waved her off. Possible theft. The woman frowned. From where? Electronics store. She glanced at Marcus again. Sir, she said gently, did you pay for that item? Yes, ma'am. Do you have the receipt? It's taped inside the box. She looked back at Whitmore. Dan, she said, let him show you. Whitmore hesitated. Marcus opened the box. The receipt slid out. Clear. Paid in full. The woman read it. Then she looked at Marcus with new eyes. Mr. Reed, she said slowly, are you the Marcus Reed from the Edison Learning Grant? Marcus nodded once. Yes. Her breath caught. Whitmore's smile vanished. The parking lot went quiet. Phones kept rolling. And Officer Whitmore suddenly realized he had stopped the wrong man. But it was already too late. Chapter 2 continues. The woman officer didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Dan, she said again, slower this time, this is Dr. Marcus Elroy Reed. That single word, doctor, hit the parking lot harder than a shout. Whitmore blinked. Marcus closed the laptop box gently like he was handling glass. I don't use the title much, Marcus said. My students just call me Mr. Reed. The woman officer swallowed. I'm Sergeant Lena Calder, she said, turning slightly so her body cam caught everything. Sir, you're one of the lead designers on the federal STEM recovery program, correct? Yes, Marcus said. Whitmore stared at her. What? He snapped. That doesn't change anything. Sergeant Calder turned to him fully now. It changes everything, she said. This man reports directly to the Department of Education and advises 2 Senate committees. The words floated. Phone shook. A man near a pickup whispered, Oh my God. Whitmore's face drained of color. Marcus adjusted his glasses. I didn't say anything earlier, he said calmly, because it shouldn't matter who I am. He looked at Whitmore. But you didn't stop me because of a description, Marcus continued. You stopped me because I didn't look like someone you respect. Whitmore's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Sergeant Calder cleared her throat. Dan, she said, how long have you been detaining this man? Whitmore checked his watch without thinking. 20, maybe 25 minutes. She nodded once. That's 25 minutes without cause. She turned to Marcus. Sir, she said, I'm sorry. The word sorry landed heavy. Marcus nodded. I know, he said. You're not the one who needs to learn today. A third vehicle arrived. This one didn't have regular plates. A tall man in a gray suit stepped out. Then another. Then another. People gasped. One of them walked straight to Marcus and shook his hand. Marcus, the man said, we saw the live stream. Whitmore's knees went weak. Sergeant Calder stiffened. Sir, she said, I didn't realize. The man in the suit raised a hand. It's fine, Sergeant, he said. We're here now. He turned to Whitmore. You are Officer Daniel Whitmore, he said flatly. Yes, Whitmore answered, voice cracking. The man nodded. You are relieved of duty effective immediately, he said. Turn off your camera. Whitmore froze. Now, the man said. Whitmore's hands shook as he reached up. The red light blinked off. But dozens of phones stayed on. Whitmore looked around. People weren't angry anymore. They were disappointed. That was worse. Marcus picked up the box again. You could have just checked the receipt, Marcus said quietly. Whitmore's eyes filled. I was just doing my job, he muttered. Marcus shook his head. No, he said. You were doing what you felt. Silence swallowed them. Later that night, the video spread everywhere. News anchors played it slow. Every word, every pause, every look. Protests formed by morning. An investigation followed by noon. By sunset, Officer Whitmore's name was gone from the roster. Marcus didn't speak at the press conference. He stood behind the podium and watched others talk for him. When a reporter asked how he felt, Marcus leaned forward. "I feel tired," he said, "but hopeful." The next week, Marcus stood in his classroom. Students stared at the new laptops. One raised a hand. "Mr. Reed," she asked, "were you scared?" Marcus smiled gently. "Yes," he said. "But I stayed kind anyway." He wrote one sentence on the board. "Calm is a form of strength." If this story moved you, subscribe to this channel so stories like this keep getting told, and tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were standing there that day?